Hello and welcome to the next stage of the Vanguard Invitational. We are now onto our fourth fixtures for each team, starting off with the Wet Bandits and Lineade. I am joined today with my co-host Matt.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so as you can see from the table, Wet Bandits are currently placed third and are in the third spot position, whereas Lineade are in the fourth position. So they're both very close together, and this next match could really impact their position on the table. Um, I will let Matt explain the implications of the next few games to come.
Yeah, thank you very much, Simran, for having me. Thank you very much to Cousins Paul and Snooker Bar for allowing us to host this. And once again, thank you for the sponsor of this tournament, Rubbish Snooker. So, after games 1 to 9, Daddy's Clackers, Maximum Impact, and the Wet Bandits have all confirmed their safety for the knockout stage. So, if Lineade win this game, they will join them as safe. If not, they will remain at risk of finishing 6th and being eliminated. If the Wet Bandits win, then like Daddy's Clackers and Maximum Impact, they will confirm a top 3 place for the next round and will not be at risk of playing in the 4th and 5th place playoffs. Exciting stuff, Simran.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Obviously, Lineade have have more to risk in this game, although Wet Bandits might want to stay ahead so they don't come at risk of being fourth and fifth. As a reminder, on the team Wet Bandits, we have Hoi Yin and Byron. Both of them have shown strong prowess throughout the tournament. They have currently won 2 games out of the 3 that they've played so far, the only time losing to Daddy Clackers. Both
Yeah,
played.
it was quite an upsetting outing from them against Daddy's Clackers last time. I felt like we lost really the chemistry we've seen in the previous round between them both.
Yeah, and Lineade has Alex and Ardit, originally starting off in the tournament a bit slowly, making some sloppy mistakes, but really coming into their own in their third fixture against Alice, winning, to taking a winning point. This could really be the next step for them to move up the table. I'm really hoping to see another brilliant game from them.
Ardit describing himself as Monsieur Magnifico. Then maybe we'll see some of that magnificence in today's game. The Wet Bandits starting us off. Black Ball leaning a little bit to the left-hand side. The Wet Bandits shooting to the right.
Wet Bandits making a great shot, having their ball against the back cushion, protecting themselves from being knocked out.
Yeah,
Lineade
Lion starting
opting
very similar to what they did in the previous games, hitting it very close to that far pocket, very close to the cushion on the side.
well, if it was an effective strategy last time, I'm sure it will be this time.
Exactly, don't change what isn't broken is a philosophy in line ball.
That is another one of Max's tattoos.
I was just thinking about Max's tattoos, and I think that is tattooed. I daren't say where it is because it might not be appropriate to some viewers at home. Don't change what isn't
Yeah.
broken.
Yes, it is in an unknown location that is not for children to hear, and we like to cater line ball for all ages.
Exactly. So, the Wet Bandits building a nice little wall around one of Lion-Aid's famous Red Bulls in the right-hand side here. Um, Very risky here. We're going to see Lion-Aid attempt to knock their Red Bull into that corner, but unfortunately, we have seen Lion-Aid pot one of their Red Bulls. 1-0 Wet Bandits.
Yeah, perhaps a bit too risky a move from Lineade in that situation. Um, it was a great move tactically to try and get into that corner, but unfortunately they hit it with too much force.
Yeah, we can appreciate the risk Lion-Aid is taking here, but do remember if Lion-Aid win this, then they are safe in the tournament. So it is very important that they do get the win from this game. But the Wet Bandits will not make it easy for them, taking a 1-0 lead.
Oh. This time the black ball is placed to the left, very close to that pot, perhaps helping both teams to not get it into that pot, leaving the only risk the other the other side to the right. Um, both teams just now taking quite aggressive shots and not getting any points. Currently, only as I say it, Lion gets their two balls in, now taking the lead with 2 points. That was a brilliant shot taken, knocking their other ball in.
Yeah, it was a great shot there. I was just about to say that the Wet Bandits really did miss an opportunity there to try and get that red ball out of play. They missed the opportunity, and now it's 2-2 in the zone.
Yeah, definitely. Perhaps Lion have worked out a tactic to line up their balls closer and then knock them in together.
No, it is a risky tactic. We're now seeing the Wet Bandits taking a 4-2 lead here, but it does seem to be working, knocking one ball in with another one, one at a time. But it does leave them open to potentially losing the ball.
Both teams steering very clear of that black ball. Maybe we're about to see them move slightly closer.
Yeah, I think that's quite an unusual shot there from the Wet Bandits. We had a bit of a cluster going on the right-hand side, and they just decided to completely avoid that. And now there's a very open ball there, which could be for the taking later on.
I definitely agree. I think one of their shots should possibly be to knock that ball that is sticking out of the Wet Bandits, unless they knock it in further. I think that is definitely one that is a great one to target. Hopefully avoiding that black ball if they do try to do so.
Yeah, fantastic shot there from Lion, knocking both their balls in. It's a one-shot shootout at this point, 6-6. They just need to make sure they get their ball in, maybe not take too many risks here, but that is a very, very sloppy shot there from the Wet Bandits. And this is a point for the taking. If they just have a bit of composure here, just nice and gently put that in the zone. Fantastic shot. And that is 1-1. Very sloppy from the Wet Bandits there, giving away a point to Lion.
Hey, I'm Kieran, the creator of Rubbish Snooker, which makes art out of litter on an outdoor pool table. And I'm really proud to sponsor the Vanguard Invitational Line Ball Tournament, and check out rubbishsnooker.com.
The tension must have gotten to them there with that sloppy shot. Really, really afraid of getting it into that zone and messing it up. That really can be your demise. You've got to keep confidence and you've got to keep composure in this game, otherwise you can lose it all.
Just to see there, Anki Dams trying to knock all the red balls back over, but accidentally knocking one of the red balls into the pocket, into the middle pocket there, slowing down the start of the game. Maybe he's doing that for the benefit of the Wet Bandits or Lion. You never know which side he's leaning towards, and which side he'd rather face.
Which side he'd rather see the back end of.
Exactly, yeah, that's a fantastic shot there. That makes it very, very difficult there for the Wet Bandits to do a lot with, because it's not our play. They've got a lot to do here.
The Wet Bandits thought, "I'll have a ball in the scoring area," and Lion said no.
Lion said no. The Wet Bandits, Lion not opted to hit their red ball in there. The black ball is in a bit of a compromised position, so we'll see how they approach that going forward.
Lion nicely dodging around the balls currently in the scoring area and tucking it behind the other two balls, making it a bit more difficult to get to it, to knock it out maybe. But that yellow ball that has been placed by the Wet Bandits is brilliantly placed next to the black ball, making it more difficult to approach.
Yeah, a great shot there once again. Great shot once again from Lion.
A great shot knocking both balls in. Lion currently have a 1 point lead, with Wet Bandits just having knocked one in. They seem to be very much favouring knocking in their own ball because they haven't hit them in hard enough earlier. Is it on purpose? Is it because they keep messing up and having to make up for it? I couldn't be the one to tell you that.
So yeah, it's difficult to say. Lion have really started to grow into this tournament, as we have seen in the later stages of the group stages. A slow start, but now every shot seems to be hit with a lot of confidence. grouping them together, blocking other balls, cushioning behind other balls and the black ball is quite nice to see from Lineade.
Yeah. All they seem to be knowing where they want their balls to be, and their balls are ending up there perfectly. This would be a perfect opportunity to knock a ball out, or just get it into another kind of zone. That probably was a bit too hard, not by them pushing it out of the cluster and into the open to be easily knocked out. Let's see if the other team takes advantage of that.
Yeah, the Wet Bandits got a lot to do here. They're a ball down here. They do need to knock a ball out of play, but they also do knock one of their own out. So this is a point for the taking for Lineade to go 2-1 up in this game. If they were just composed here, get the ball in. But they've potted one of their own. Oh no.
Hey, my name's Kieran and I am the creator of Rubbish Snooker, which is proudly sponsoring the Vanguard Invitational Line Ball Pool Tournament. What is Rubbish Snooker? Well, Rubbish Snooker creates art on an outdoor pool table using upcycled and littered lids. This is just one example. They get printed on canvases and they're available at rubbishsnooker.com and Etsy.
That could have been an easy win for Lineade, but unfortunately, their ball was just hit too hard.
Heartbreak for Lineade there. That could have been a 2-1 lead. Very important point here in their tournament. Very simple point. That was theirs for the taking, and they didn't take that opportunity and potted one of their own. Sloppy play from Lineade.
The Wet Bandits really getting a free point there. Perhaps not a deserved point, but a point nonetheless.
Yeah, snatch and grab there from the Wet Bandits in that round.
Snatch and grab, that's what we say in line ball.
Snatch and grab. We don't ask you where that is on Max's body, but it is one of his tattoos too.
Both teams had initially made shots that were not inside the scoring area, but Lineade have quickly made up for that by knocking in both balls. I believe Wet Bandits hoping to do the same thing, but unfortunately not having the same skill and practice as Lineade to be able to do that.
Yeah, this is starting to look like the second round here of this game. That yellow ball cushioning in front of the two yellow balls. Hopefully we'll see a fantastic shot here. A great shot to get their first point into the end zone. Lineade with a 3-1 lead currently.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's a real shame. Lineade were playing so well, and they've unfortunately knocked in one of the balls into and potted it. I really thought that they were going to have that game. I really saw much more skill coming from Lineade than I did from Black Bandits. I think they definitely were playing a lot better, playing much more tactical shots, playing great shots, but unfortunately it's the luck of the draw and they have lost this game. Matt, what are your thoughts?
It's a real shame there. Lineade were the much stronger team for the majority of that game. They handed them the third point in the tie and then very sloppily potted one of their own balls. Whilst they had a lead as well, a strong lead, they were in a good position. The yellow balls were in fantastic places and they handed them another win by potting another one of their balls. It's a real shame to see there. It could have secured their safety in this game. And now it's up for grabs.
The tension really getting to them, the heat of the game. I'm sure there was many a sweat being shed. So unfortunately, Lineade and the Wet Bandits stay in the same positions they were already in. Lineade is still in a bit of a dangerous position to potentially be in 4th, 5th, or 6th place in the knockout stages.
Yeah, we are seeing now the Red Hot Chili Peppers have an opportunity here to crawl back and claw back some points here. They are currently on 0 points, but now Alice and the Red Hot Chili Peppers might see this as an opportunity to maybe, just maybe, take some points here and see that the tournament isn't done and dusted just yet.
Yes, both Alice and Red Hot Chili Peppers still have 2 games left to play, up to 6 points for grabs, whereas Line 8 only have 3 points left to make it further up the table.
Yeah, so later on in this group stage, we'll see the other teams play. Hopefully, we'll see a little bit more excitement from some of the teams, a bit more spice, a bit more risk. The tensions are going to start to rise now, so in the blistering heat as well.
Tensions are definitely rising as we get closer to the end of the group stage, as the final teams try to crawl their way up the table. Unfortunately for unfortunately for all three of the bottom teams, they will not be able to make it past fourth place. So let's just hope that they can make it into the knockout stages.
Fantastic tournament so far. A very exciting game there.
All the pundits at Line were very shocked by the outcome. Everyone's lost all their money. But do you know who we can rely on in these kind of situations? Our sponsor, Rubbish Snooker.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rubbish Snooker, once again for sponsoring this Vanguard Invitational, and also Cousins Pool and Snooker Bar for allowing the Vanguard Invitational to play their matches on their tables. So, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell us your thoughts on the game, tell us how you felt Line 8 and both the Wet Bandits did there. Please tune into their channel every Tuesday and Thursdays. There's a new upload, so please be sure to check that out. Thank you very much. I've been Matt.
I've been Simran.
Thank you very much for watching once again. See you again next Tuesday or Thursday.
Bye.
Hi everybody, my name is Max Barrett and I'm the creator of Lion Ball Pool. I just wanted to hop in at the end of the video to say thank you so much for tuning in to the episodes of the tournament. We really appreciate you watching and supporting, so make sure if you enjoy these episodes, subscribe to the channel. At the moment we are uploading every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 PM UK time, so your subscription, it goes a long way. And the other thing I'd like to ask you to do is play Line Ball. Go and play it in your local pool bar, snooker lounge, wherever you have access to, because we've had a lot of the players who are playing in this tournament be approached by other people in the pool bar, asking them what they're playing, having some rounds of Line Ball, teaching each other the rules and trying out new tactics. So by playing Line Ball and just going out there and enjoying it, you are helping to spread the brilliant work we're doing here on the channel and introducing a brand new game and bringing people together. So that means everything. And the other thing I'd love to do, and this is a bit of a reach, I would love to play Line Ball Pool against Keanu Reeves. Now, can we make it happen? He is one of my favourite actors of all time. He is an inspiration, and if I could play against him in a game of Line Ball, then I've won. So let's see if we can do it. Subscribe, comment, like, and let's see. I'll see you in the next video.